How it feel to be a dad, how it feel to be a man. Get provide by any means, and we sticking to the plan. Yeah, I do this for my seed. Come and listen, come and see. Remember, it was just me. Now it's all about me. Lead by example. This for my child. I swear that I got you for life. Went from the court to talking about buckets. Now we talking pampers and wipes. I really love this though. Look at you and get inspired. You the fuel to my fire. Come here, let me change your diaper. Diaper dash.
Yo, we are here. We are back again. It's your boy GQ.
It is your boy Bug. I'm stressed out as fuck, but welcome back to Diaper Dash Podcast. What's going on?
Ain't shit, man. Ain't shit. You look real stressed. This is the first time I seen you without a hat, and it's the first time I actually seen you without a haircut. Because usually when you got it,
oh yeah.
When you don't
well,
have a haircut,
I got a work
you
trip.
Put your hat on.
I gotta go to Vegas on Monday for a work trip. So tomorrow's my haircut, and I was looking a little bit better earlier in the week, but I had a stressful last week of work, and obviously raising kids on top of that, and taking care of yourself. That shit just like I was like, fuck it, whatever. So people get to see the real me today.
So you on your light flex shit that you just going to Vegas a little on your
light flex
on your flex and shit.
Yeah, it's just a work trip though, so it ain't nothing crazy.
All right. Well, as you guys,
everything's good.
If you guys are watching on YouTube, you see we got a guest today, man. We got a special guy. You know what I mean? This is my guy Banyei. To me, I look at him as like a young OG. You know what I mean? He been doing this for a while, but he's still kind of a rookie. You know, but this my guy. Banyei, go ahead and introduce yourself, man. For like people that don't know you, go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
What's going on, guys? I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't know me. Most people don't know me. Guys call me an old young OG. Anyway, my name Banyei. I'm from New York originally. I moved down to Maryland right after college, so call that 12 years ago now, 12, 13 years ago. I met Shane on the basketball court, and I'm sure everybody who's listening to this can relate to this. I didn't like this guy. He was talking way too much. He acted like he was Jordan. So we got into it a couple times. And, I started to realize his tricks. He was doing all that to get under your skin. And once you realize Shane's tricks, it doesn't really have the same effect anymore. So we ended up, chopping it up and started to form a relationship. Figured out he's a pretty decent guy. So, yeah.
For most of the people that are listening and some of the people that don't know, I know you guys always hear me talk about, we play basketball and we go to the gym. I am a dickhead. I'm probably one of the biggest dickheads there is. But like I tell people all the time, when we step out of those four lines, I'm probably one of the coolest people ever. And I feel like a lot of people, they get that one. They're so locked into like, yo, this nigga was a dickhead all day that they just carried that with them everywhere they go. Like, yo, this nigga Shane's a dick, yo, like blah blah blah. But it's just basketball, man, right, bud?
Just basketball. A lot of the times, see, the thing about it is that whenever me and you in the same gym, we're on the same team like 90% of the time.
Yeah.
Because Shane I already know how Shane plays. Shane know how I play, so it makes it a lot easier. So I don't get I'm not on the receiving end of a lot of shit, but I'm the hype man though. I let it. I'm one of them guys. But,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm one of them guys, but
But
Shane, GQ is probably one of the better guys that I know. Solid, well rounded.
Definitely a dickhead though. Just for people that don't know, I'm very a dickhead on the basketball court.
But you know what though? Quite frankly though, people who are dickheads are usually like the nicest people if you get to know them. You ever think about that? Like like some assholes, if you really like get to know them, like they're like really nice. Like for instance, like when I worked at Enterprise in San Diego, everybody that I worked with, they just had this real mean, like you would think they were asshole people, but you really get to touch them, like you really like get to know them, they're like nice people ever. They'll do anything for you.
I wish I could vouch for that, but I know a lot of people that are like dickheads. But you know what? I think maybe it's the same thing with people that meet me on the basketball court. I guess that I never really give people the opportunity to know them outside of that space where I first met them, right? So, like, say for example,
Exactly.
I work with someone, or I probably was in class with someone. I'm like, damn, this motherfucker a jerk or a dickhead, but I just leave it there. I don't want anything to do with that person. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want their energy. I just keep it moving. That might be the same situation for me, but you probably are right, because you might see them at a party. You might see them somewhere where it's neutral. Like, yo, this person's fucking cool as shit. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I definitely can vouch for that. But one of the things I wanted to talk about today, Banyei, is it's funny because, now that we're getting older, I got a lot of friends that got kids, right? And it's so crazy that a lot of my buddies, a lot of them have girls or two girls, right? And you are definitely one of the guys that have two girls, right? Beautiful girls. And you kind of deep in the game. Your oldest is 7, right? Sorry. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. And I was just telling, we had an episode with Obi and Jagon, and I was just telling them, like, sometimes, man, like, I don't necessarily talk to people that have the same age kids as me, or maybe younger kids, because sometimes I think their advice or maybe their viewpoint might be the same as mine, and I'm looking for a little bit more mature, maybe a different viewpoint. So, like, sometimes we have talks in the gym, and it just refreshed me a little bit. You know what I mean? Just like the whole situation where I was just had my newborn journey a week ago, and I was telling you,
Wait. We didn't even announce that. First of all, you talk about light. That is crazy. First of all, everybody, GQ, Mrs. Brown, the second one is here. Congratulations. He is a dad of multiples now. He got multiple kids in that household. He gets to experience all this love and joy we get and the stress that we get on a day-to-day basis. You're welcome. Congratulations, bro.
yeah. So before I get deep into what I was saying, I did just have another girl,
Sorry.
Journey Brown. She was born last Sunday, so it's been a blessing. It's definitely been something where me and Jasmine kind of been just waiting on the baby, just waiting. And she's finally here, doing good. A lot of sleeping, a lot of eating. She hasn't been too fussy, so that's kind of been a blessing in disguise. But I'm going to talk about that, like going into like a little bit details into that. But
Sorry.
I
got too excited. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
you kind of jumped the gun. You kind of, you know what I mean? Like, oh, damn, you
I'm going to
naked?
fall back.
Oh, my God, put the condom
Yo.
on first. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But,
That's crazy.
one of the things we had talked about that I told Boog is like that whole, like, when you're in a relationship with kids and stuff like that, you kind of sacrifice your intimacy and your love, actually for the kids, because and I say this because everyone's different. People listening to this, y'all might have different situation, and some listen to us might be like, yo, that's true. But when you get kids, you kind of put intimacy or love or this type of stuff like on the back burner, and gradually you have to work to build that up again. Love your partner again, love each other over and over again, and grow that. So I just want to just give us a little backstory on, like, getting your first kid, and then like the feeling of like getting your second kid, and what were some of like the adjustments to you. So just start off with what was the age where you had your first kid, your first daughter? Okay.
Can't drive by mistake. So I booked a flight. I got there in 4 hours. yo, yo, like somebody's about to come into the world. I helped create this person that's coming out. But I mean, initially, my daughter came pretty much full term, but she was really small. So, um, her umbilical cord was wrapped around my neck. So I remember the moment they said code red, I started having panic about everything. I'm like, yo, I'm I'm not the right person to have in the hospital. I'm gonna panic because automatically, again, people from New York, we're not really the most optimistic. We're really more pessimistic. So the worst comes to my mind when I see somebody say code red. Um, but long story short, about 10 minutes later, um, my daughter's in my arms. She came out really small. She was 4 pounds, 4 pounds 15 ounces. So I could hold her in the palm of my hand, and I was holding her like my man was holding Simba, just looking at her like, yo, this is me right here. So it was a great feeling, man, having the first one, and then going into the second one. I mean, that feeling doesn't get old. I'm just gonna put it that way. You have every single child you have, you're gonna have the same kind of expression, like, yo, I'm in love all over again. Like, this is me. That is me. I am him. He is me. She is me. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, bro. So, nah, man, best things that ever happened in my life.
So
Go ahead, Lawrence.
what? No, go ahead.
Nah, go
I'll
ahead. You
ask
got
my
it,
ask
man.
my
You
question.
got it.
No, I just wanted to tap in on something. So in that, what was it like? Did your first after because she was so small? Did she do like any like NICU or anything like that?
She was in NICU for a week, which was creating a little more stress over the situation. Um, but once she got home, like she wouldn't stop. Like I'm relating to Shane talking about sleeping and eating. That was all she was doing, was sleeping and eating. And then before you knew it, she was like, my daughter is in the night. She's never been below the 99th percentile in her height. Like, it's crazy for somebody who came out that small, and now she's like bigger than that. Like, she would come home like, they keep bullying me. They keep telling me I'm in the 5th grade. Like, bullying people now, like that's a bad thing. Like, okay, so like it's one of those things where you never let, like, you should never let something like that discourage you or make you feel like the end is near or anything like that, because you never really know what his plans are at the end of the day.
For sure.
I love that, and I believe that too. When you first have a child, there's so many things that go on. Like, it might be premature. The baby might have this and might have that. There's so many things that might go on. But I remember Nova. She was born 4 weeks early, 3 weeks early. She was premature too. But one thing that made me stay positive is Jasmine was born premature, and other people in her family was born premature. And then, like, I just started hearing, like, there was a lot of people that were born premature and they was normal. You know what I mean? Like, you could never tell. Like, okay, like, all right. So also, for me, when I first thought about it, I was like, oh dang, man, they gonna take a time. It's take them a while to get, do stuff and this, that, and the third. But as I like just learned and just saw, it's just like Jasmine was like, nah, they just born early. They might not have enough, meat on them, but they just gonna be normal kids. You know what I mean? Like, you never gonna know. There could be 100 people in the room and 50 of them was born premature. You'll never know. So I always tell people that. I remember Dion, he just had a baby and his son was premature, and I think that was his second child. And I was telling him, I was like, yo, bro, you never gonna know, bro. In the next 5 years, 6 years, no one's even going to think about that. The only time that's going to get brought up is, when people just say, oh, yeah, they were born a little early, this, and the third. But I love that, you just got to stay positive and everything else will kind of work out for itself. For your second child, one thing I never really got to ask guests is, what made you choose the time frame of having your second daughter the time y'all did, or like what was it based on? And also I want to hear like your preference, because like one of my buddies I was just talking to today, his wife was like, "Yo, we should have kids back to back, like 1 year. My kids are the same age part as yours. They're 3 years apart. And Jasmine siblings, they're all a year apart. So she's 36, her brother's 37 and 38. I don't know how they did that shit, but they fucking did it. But I wanted to ask you like your opinion of like, you know, when you think the right time to have kids and your thought process on it.
So,
Hey, before you go, slide over just a little bit. It's all right. We in a podcast. You cutting off. There you go. You was kind of you was ducking away. You know what I mean? You can still lean back. You can still lean back, but you know you was kind of But it's all good. This is a podcast. We rolling.
Hey, I was
Yeah,
chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. But it's all good. But
That's good. That's where we need you, right there, chilling.
we need to see the Kobe. We don't need you to block that.
Oh yes.
It's like but go ahead. Sorry, man.
No. I was gonna say, I was gonna start giving you an answer, and then I realized before I started talking, I think I was gonna give you a politically correct answer.
Nah, don't.
No, I wasn't trying to. I'm programmed. Like sometimes I think a lot of people are programmed to doing that because it sounds good. But my mentality has shifted significantly as I've gotten older. Like, so in terms of like having kids and the right time to have kids, I don't know if I agree whether, like historically, like yo, you get a chick pregnant, have the child. And I don't think people were thinking about the financial ramifications of having a child, you know, and all of the other responsibilities that come with children. So like you were talking about Jasmine being back to back. I'm a product of back to back. So my mom had my sister, all three of my sisters back to back. She had a miscarriage, and she had me the following year, had another miscarriage, and they had two more kids after that. So like I don't know what was going on in their mind, but like I always look at my parents as an example, like, yo, y'all would have been wealthy if you didn't have to take care of 6 kids. And, you know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like we were all out of the house at the same time. It was like there was a nice gap. So they were for I would say 25 to 30 years they were taking care of somebody. And it was just like, man, I think people need to really think about what their goals in life are and align that with what they envision for their offspring. Like I always want to make sure that my children have it better than I did, right? And when I initially had my oldest, her name is Zoe, you know, I would say we were struggling, you know what I'm saying? Like I was still 30, I was, you know, still early on into my career. I hadn't really figured out what I wanted to do. But with Michelle, I think that's the major difference. With Michelle, we were in a different financial position. And I know it was only 3 years later, but those 3 years made a big difference. So we were better prepared for the second child as she came into the picture. But my wife and I, we didn't really plan it per se. You know, I guess one summer I was like, yo, I'm just gonna keep shooting up the club and see what happens. And something happened.
See, that's where, and I'm a product of that. So like, not shooting up the club. Well, I did shoot up the club. I had twins now, but what I'm a product of that. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to that financial piece, right? Like my whole goal growing up, not goal, but like one of my dreams was to be a father at like a younger age. Because as my kids go older, then I put in the work, working early, and then when they leave is when I really gonna have my freedom. So at 20, she got pregnant at 20 when I was 25. I had them at 26. And I knew what I was going to do, but I never really had the financial backing piece. It wasn't like a thing that was on my mind. But I did know that I was going to have to work a little bit harder to earn a little bit more. So maybe not necessarily like the financial pieces when it comes to like crunching numbers, but I just knew that I had to go get more somebody. So like my mentality when it came to work and my career changed overnight. Like as soon as I found out she was pregnant, I was like, all right, it's go time. I got to figure this out. You know what I mean?
How one thing I wanted to touch on was you were just saying that you need to figure out what type of how your lifestyle wants to look, before you have, kids, just so you can make sure that they have a great life and stuff like that. Do you think that is somewhat selfish, or do you think that is just a logical way of actually thinking, if you actually want to have kids?
You already know how I'm gonna answer this, bro. It's a logical way of thinking, bro. Like I'm just saying, like,
Okay.
but the logic behind this answer is you can't be the best version of yourself if you're not happy. Like if you don't have everything that you really feel that you want, then how are you going to be able to provide for those who are coming after you?
My guy, man, I don't know if it's I really don't know if it's a gym thing. I really don't know. But you can ask Lawrence. We've been doing
A
this
little
for
one
a little while, right? We're on like
you want to say hi?
there we go, man. Live action of the kids,
See,
man.
look, live action in the flesh.
But I don't know if it's a gym thing, but I remember when we first started this, and I always told Lawrence, because me and Lawrence had kids around the same age, but I always told him, I was like, man, like no matter what goes on in life, man, I cannot be the best person I could be if I'm not happy. There's no way. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care about the stories people say, the TV shows, what my mother's saying, what my dad's saying. It's just actually a logical way of like what I think. And I actually learned that from just random dude in the gym, man. He was like 50 years old. He used to kill it, man. This was like maybe like 4 years ago. And I asked him, I was like, yo, bro, what motivates you, man? Like, you be in here, like, really getting it. He was like, yo, I'm going to tell you the honest truth. He was like, yo, if I'm not in here and I'm not the best person I could be, how the hell can I be the best person for my family? He was like, I can't. He's like, I'm telling you right now, there's no way I could be. If I can't be sane and be healthy, how can I actually do what I want to do for my kids? Run with them, do this, do that, pick them up, do this for my wife, do that. I won't be able to do it. And I always stick with that shit, man. And it's just funny that you said it because, we're always in the gym. We see each other all the time. At least like maybe like for people that listen, I see Banyei at least like maybe 3 to 5 times a week. like going to the gym is that's
Friday and Sunday, the only days we don't see each other.
Correct. Like it's really like a religion for us. And everyone in there, we see the same faces every single day. There's not one person that we probably don't talk to them, but we see them all the day, all the time. And it's just, I think that's just something that we all know. Like it might just be a getaway for us. Like instead of going to the club or the bar, this, that, and the third, it's like we just in there just fucking getting ready for life.
And that's the thing is that like it's like, yo, like we sit back and we say like, yeah, like I became more cognizant of myself once me and you started this. Because the only reason why I say it's because as a first time parent, you can get frazzled in a moment. You know what I mean? Like with the quickness. Because you just been thrown into something you don't know. And some people forget to oftentimes take care of themselves. You know what I mean? And whether it be going to the gym or just that's how I feel like that's how people gain all that weight. They just don't know what to do. They got to figure out what to make time for and what's important to them becomes a new the same question again. You know what I mean? Like before, like when it was just you, it's like, what do I have time for? I got time to go to work. I got time to go to the gym. I got time to hang out with so and so tonight, maybe, and I got time to watch this movie later on. Now it's like, all right, well, do I stay home and help a little bit, or do I go to the gym and take care of myself for an hour or 30 minutes, 45 minutes? You know what I mean? And you kind of got to be somewhat somewhat selfish. It seems it's logical, but it's also some people can see it as being selfish. But and you have all the right to do so because at the end of the day, when this goes, the body goes. When the body goes, your kids are left without you. You know what I mean? So.
Nah,
Yeah, sure.
I I really don't know what to say because it's very, very true. It's very, very true. And, if I could tell, obviously, I remember Varun had asked me, man, he asked me, I think, like the summer of the pandemic, he just asked me, like, yo, what advice would you give me, like trying to create a family or marry someone? And I remember I had told him, I was like, yo, like, just make sure like the person you choose is, a friend, someone that you can actually like laugh with. But one thing that I kind of tell people more and more now is like, just don't lose yourself. You know what I mean? Just because you're having kids or you get married, because the moment you lose yourself, I don't know if some people are able to be the best version they can be for someone else. Like I really don't know. And I'm just speaking from my viewpoint. But if I lost myself just mentally, I don't even know where the fuck I could. I don't even know if I could take care of my family, yo. I really don't.
Nah, you'd be so bugged out, bro. You'd be so bugged out. And it's very easy because, like, you could really slip into that mindset, especially, like, when things are taken away from you, like the pandemic, when you're, like, when you're, like, not forced, but you're forced to be in the house and you can't really do much and you could lose yourself. And you just, like me, I was going crazy for a while. During that pandemic, I was going crazy for a while. Like, it would save me, like, because my kids would go to my in-laws, but I would go crazy and be in this house, bro. So, yeah, no, for sure.
I mean, I'm gonna just add this to that conversation. Saying you and I have this conversation all the time. Like, I know I'm a little older than you. I ain't much older than you, so
yeah,
we correct that right
exactly.
now. Nah, but I tell you all the time, and it took me forever to figure it out. But when I hit 35, 34, 35, that's when I really felt like, yo, I'm in my prime right now. Like, I could do what I want, when I want, how I want, because literally, physically, I may not be in the most optimal position or anything like that anymore, but I'm still good enough to be dangerous, right? Financially, I got enough money in my pocket, again, to be dangerous. And then mentally, I'm more mature now, so I'm outsmarting everybody because I'm dangerous there too. So, like, I always tell Shane, like, yo, you gotta keep living. Like, he knows I travel once a quarter. Like, like,
yeah. Hey, like, oh my.
It is what it is. And guess what? I just finished booking my wife's trip earlier today. She travels too. You got to make sure, everybody's having a good time. Shane knows you got skin in the game. We good.
They ain't ready. They ain't ready for that. They got to make sure that one of the rules, you got to make sure wifey travels too, guys. People that are listening, you can't just
100%.
You can't be, and y'all got to travel together. All right, so like y'all can't
100%.
Can't be on your solo joint. That's once in a while, but you got to make sure wifey enjoying herself because she take care of the kids. You know what I mean? She's the wife of the house, the lady of the house. She needs to be pampered here and there. And then also it's good for y'all to go away and just relax and just talk about life. So, me.
I'm just sitting here. I'm sitting here looking at once a quarter is crazy, but I travel back. I go home every other month. Damn near, like that's really nothing. Like that's actually very doable. It ain't like you going every month. That's funny you say that shit.
I'm telling you because and I don't even. I'm gonna be real. I don't mean no fuckboy shit neither. Like I'm just saying like if it's for. Like I went to so I travel for work, number one, so that helps sometimes. So if I travel for work, I'm gonna stay wherever I am a couple extra days on a personal tip.
Correct.
But like I love culture, I love food, and I love people as a whole. So like I'm really big on experiencing other cultures and bringing that whole mentality back here. When you come home, you just appreciate what you have at home even that much more. But definitely send your wife on vacation. It's needed for you. And,
We was in the gym. We was in the gym for about 2 weeks straight. I'm like, Banyei, man, when wifey come back from Nigeria? Was it Nigeria or Ghana?
Bro, she was in Ghana, bro, for 3 weeks. 3 weeks, bro. Yo, I was cooking, cleaning. I was doing all that for 3 weeks.
bro, that shit, bro. Shane, when you got two, wait till Jasmine go away for a week, bro. You think it's just cool. One, wait till Journey gets a little bit older, bro. Yo, I texted Ashley one time. I'm like, bro, I have a headache. She's like, from what? I'm like, yo, because I'm trying to think about everything that you do that I don't normally take care of. Like that shit is like when you gotta pick out clothes, you gotta pack bags, you gotta cook dinner, clean this, go take a shower, wash your ass. You gotta go eat dinner. You gotta do this. You gotta come do a podcast. Like, yo, this shit is it's just nuts. Like their minds are wired so crazy that like the little things that we never really do that when we have to do it, bro, that shit is a migraine in itself.
Better start practicing on some dolls because you're gonna have to be doing your daughter's hair before you know it. I ain't joking.
I was just about to. I'm glad you brought that up, but I wanted to ask you too. Transition into our next topic is what do you do your daughter's hair?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm like, yeah. I mean, I'm not. I'm. If we do it on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 6.5. You know, they can tell a man did the hair, but
that's very solid, bro. 6.5. That's solid. That's very solid.
It's
improving. It's improving. I'm trying to get to at least an 8. Yeah. But, you know,
at what age? Like, what pushed you to do the kids' hair? Obviously, you know you did it on your first born, but like at what age or like what kind of pushed you to be like, all right, I got to do this, or you know, this is needed.
So I'm actually a really hands-on father. So like I would say that my wife and I, we split things 50-50. Like morning duties is me. Evening, like she just put them to bed. But things are kind of split 50-50. Like I'm usually like if they're going somewhere, I'm usually the one who's gonna take them somewhere, right? If it involves them getting ready, I'd say we probably split that. But like when it comes to like the cooking and the cleaning, obviously it's gonna lean more towards her. And I shouldn't even say obviously, but it leans more towards her.
Yeah.
We do a lot. It's a partnership with the both of us. So when it came to doing her hair, it was just my wife was busy. I was like, yo, somebody got to step up and do it. So I did it. And I mean, I saw my dad do my sister's hair when I was younger, so it wasn't something new to me.
That's good, man. I love it. I've been doing Nova's hair for a long goddamn time.
For a long time, right?
Yeah, man. I'm actually really good. Like I think I'm probably at an 8. Like
Shane, would you ever say anything below an 8 though? Like I've never ever heard you say.
I have
no.
I mean,
he's great at everything. Man's a jack of all trades, apparently. Like, yeah, he's never gonna be below.
Not only am I hands on, but like I really take this shit serious, and I think I take it more seriously because everything with me is a competition, and it's like I kid you not, but like that's really me. Like Jasmine's aunt, I went down there for Christmas, I think maybe 4 years ago. And the first thing they say till this day, they were like, yo, this nigga Shane's so competitive, bro. Like, we in the house playing Christmas games. I'm at their neck like, yo, I fucking want to win. But I just want to show my wife that I'm able to do it too. You know what I mean? And that's one thing that Jasmine knows. She'll tell anyone that, like, yo, if I say I'm going to do something, I'm actually going to do it. And for some people that do listen all the time, and Banyei, I know you don't know, but my wife, she goes to work around like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I take Nova to daycare every day. So with that being said, I have to do her hair. You know what I mean? There's no ifs, ands, or buts behind it. And like you said, when I first was doing it, I thought I did okay. That shit was like a 4, maybe a 3. And then gradually, man, I just asked Jasmine more questions. Nova hair started getting longer and longer. So obviously when the hair gets longer, you're able to, you know, do a little bit more. And for people that don't know, like, man, like when you have shorter hair, because you're a man and your hand's thick, it's a little bit harder to hold the hair. You know what I mean? So when the hair get longer and you got bigger hands, it's a little bit more easier. So, you know, as time went on, man, I just really started taking that shit seriously and then just doing different styles, braiding it, twisting it, all the water in it, just everything.
Did she teach you how to braid your
Yeah.
hair? Because my daughter is well, she kind of like she was on the doll like no daddy over under. I was sitting there like, oh, okay, that's how you do it.
So I actually got taught how to braid hair from my older cousins when I was young in Jamaica, man. When I was maybe like 12, 11, I had a lot of girl cousins and they had a lot of dolls. And shit, sometimes I would play with the dolls just because I was around them and shit. You know what I mean? And I always thought braiding was cool because I just look at it. I'd be like, dang, yo, like, y'all did that? It was like, yeah, this is how you do it. So I always remember that, just like, you know, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, whatever. And then it just always stuck with me. And then I think Jasmine just kind of realized, like, yo, you can braid. I'm like, no, I definitely can braid for sure. And that's really just been it, man. It's
See, like, yeah, nah, I'm probably about. Yo, I'm pretty solid, bro. Nah, niggas forget. Yo, my hair was long as shit
it
in
was.
high school.
It was.
So I already had some experience with slick back ponytail. You know what I'm saying? I had all that shit down pat. Cassidy's hair is a little different. It's not cheating because I really wasn't doing it. My mother was doing it half the damn time, so it wasn't really cheating. But when she was born, my first, I was comfortable with it, but her hair type is so coarse and so curly that like it's only but certain things that you could do with it quickly. Because in the mornings we get up, we got to get out the door. You know what I mean? Like we don't have time to sit around and like. And she doesn't really go out places like that. Like if she was out like fully on, like we go to places, things like that nature, we'd be trying to do different things. But I'm about like a 7. But this morning though, I was pushing for that. This morning I was pushing for the headband because I didn't feel like doing that shit. And she just got her haircut, so she got like her curls is easy out of there. So her curls are really tight and long now, and they're all even. Like it looks really good. She has like a long curly bush, kind of like Shane, like my sister. Her hair is just like my sister.
Gotcha.
So I just put some shit in it, threw that headband. I was like, listen, don't touch this headband all day. If you touch it, they're not gonna. I was like, you got to leave it on because if you leave it on, they'll call you pretty. She didn't come home with it on, but you know what I mean. At least it was on when I dropped her off. I don't know what happened at her grandparents' house. But yeah, I'm pretty solid with it. And then now, like Bo, his hair is long, so it's not long, but it's curly. So I gotta learn how to style that shit too. And obviously, me, I'm getting on that way. This is for the wedding. After the wedding, this shit's coming off. So this is just preface that right now.
So you know what I heard out of all the things y'all just said. So I'm the worst here.
What?
Nah, you're not, bro. Listen, it's a work in progress, bro. You're not bad at anything.
Don't worry. Shane, no,
Nah.
I'm competitive too.
Banyei coming in the gym.
Yeah,
next
me too.
Week, you be like, you know, I did that shit better than y'all this week, right?
Hey, listen, bro. But listen though, that's the good part about that shit though is like, yo, you gotta be competitive. You gotta be competitive. It may not be with another person. It maybe would be with another person. Silent competition is me. Like Ashley's dad is like so dope and like hands on with my kids that like, yo, when I see him, like, yo, I gotta be better than you. I don't know if I will be. I'll never say it out loud. I'll say it out loud here, but like deep inside, I'm just like, I gotta be better than him. But it's just that hunger. You just makes you hungry. You know what I mean? Like if you don't want to compete, then it's like, or just want to be great at something. You don't necessarily compete. You just want to improve and be great, bro. By all means, do so. I think that's what keeps men. You know, men with all like testosterone and shit like that keeps us moving. You know what I mean? Like if we could all sit here in the chat, like if all of us in a group chat and 2 weeks down the line, Banyei hit us up like, yeah, you know, I did that shit better than both of y'all. It's like, nah, fuck that. No, we gotta revisit this. Ashley, take everything out. I'm doing it right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta keep that hunger.
Nah, you definitely can. What I was about? Oh, the one segue I wanted to talk about too is because we always talk about like, you know, what things kind of prepped us to be, good fathers or good parents and stuff like that. I know you have like a mentoring program, or you're part of a mentoring program. Can you kind of speak on that a little bit? Because like I'm really big on just like mentoring kids or even young adults. Just because I had a mentor growing up, and I don't know where I would be if I didn't have my mentor. So I wanted you to just speak on that a little bit and just like talk about the program and stuff like that.
So I have to get the context of shit, yo. I'll just put it this way. When I graduated my MBA, my dad said, "Yo, I almost gave up on you 15 years ago." Because like I'm not supposed to be where
Wow.
I am. I was a knuckle. I actually had to run out of New York. That was the reason why I came down here, because I was getting into so much trouble. So because so many people gave me so many chances, and because I was a failure for so long, like I don't think I got my ducks in a row until I was probably about 22, 23. And people just kept giving me chance after chance after chance after chance. I just kept taking that chance and abusing it, right? And then, one day it was a woman. It's always fun. It's funny how women play roles in people's lives. But my ex-girlfriend started dating her, and I was like, yo, I can't have her dating no bum nigga. Like, yo, this I gotta switch this up. But anyway, she took me to a mentorship program. It's NABA. You're an accountant. I went to a NABA event.
Let me ask you this: at what age did she take you to a
NABA event? I was 20. I was 23.
Wow.
23.
Wow.
23. She took me to a NABA event. I was 23, and it was a panel. And there's a dude up there, no older than 29, 30. I was just looking at this dude. I was like, yo, this nigga is fly. And he was just commanding the room. All the joints were all over him. I was like, something's very wrong here. This dude's a nigga. He's fly. And he's getting all the joints. Nah, I need to do something. So literally right after, I was a groupie. I went up to him. I was like, let me get your number. We need to chat. He gave me. We spoke for a little bit, and he was like, yo, like if you really want to be that guy, you better do what you got to do to make that bread. So it was kind of one of those things where literally overnight, I kind of switched my attitude towards bettering myself. And I'm not even talking about through education, just in terms of being a man of my word. I think, Shane, you said that earlier. If you say you're going to do something, like simple things like that. Yeah. So I created this company called Dramality. It's based off the premise that I'm the only one of my friends out of New York that's not dead or wasn't locked up at some point. And granted, I probably should have been either one of them. And I look at that and I'm like, okay, you can do things outside of playing basketball. You can do things outside of rapping. You can do things outside of singing or being the local trap star. I literally tried all of those and failed in every last one of them. Now I don't have what they have per se, but I found success in my right? And because I found success in my right, I'm trying to empower those coming up behind me to see the opportunities that I don't think we really knew existed. I went to Yale to get my MBA. That was 2018. Before that, I'm just gonna say I wasn't woke. I'm woke now. And because I feel like I'm woke now, I'm trying to literally bring everybody with me, because I don't want to be the only one at the table. I need other people that look like me at the table too, if I really want to feel comfortable and if I really want to say that I'm empowering my people. So
them people ain't heard you, man. You say you got your MBA at where? At Yale, motherfucker. All right. Y'all see that shit in the back? Show them in the back, man. Show them that shit in the back, bro. Move the chair a little bit. Yeah. Y'all get it right. Y'all get it right.
Yeah. So But I'm just saying, like, yo, none of that would have ever happened if I didn't have somebody mentoring me. It was my mentor actually went to Yale first, and yo, again, he's a Baltimore dude. He played basketball at FAMU. His brother played at Florida State. Last name McGalley. They were big in Baltimore back in the day. So like ultimately, like I see what he did, and I'm like, yo, I can be similar to you. I don't want to be just like him, but I could be similar to you. I still talk to him and look up to him to this day. Like if it wasn't for others, I wouldn't be where I am today. That's just a fact.
I love it, man. I really do. Like I said before, I had a mentor when I was a sophomore in high school. Didn't know what the fuck a mentor was. Didn't think I needed one. And this dude really changed my life. Changed my life into. It's funny because like how you say woke. I know everyone's like using that word like the past 3 years, but he really woke me. Like I'm really trying to tell you, like. I remember one of the things I'll never forget is he was like, yo, you gotta tighten up yourself. Like you gotta be a better man, because he was like, yo, just as a young man, athletic, play sports, he's like, you always got a target on your back. He was like, no matter what, he's like, you always. And I used to get into a lot of trouble my sophomore and my freshman year. I was just a knucklehead. But I used to always get into trouble. But then as I started like trying to get away from that, I still would just get into trouble. And he would just always tell me, he's like, yo, you got a target on your back, bro. He was like, yo, you got to better yourself, man. You really got to better yourself. And just like really just guided me out throughout life, and just, you know, everything that I went through, man, he would always just tell me, man, just like, you know, this is life. This is what life is all about. It's not about the good things. It's not about the shiny things. It's not about the girls. It's really about the situations you go through to build character for yourself. You know what I mean? And I always took that with me, and I just always wanted to give that back. You know, that's why I started coaching. I'm also in a mentor program at my job, just to give, because individuals are older or they might be a profession, everyone's looking for guidance. Even myself, you know, till this day, no matter what I do, I'm always trying to better myself at my job, being a dad, life, a husband. Everyone's always looking for guidance because we don't know it all. You know what I mean? So if I had the opportunity just to, you know, help someone, not just tell them what to do, but just, you know, encourage them to say, hey, yo, life is going to be okay, man. Like, we go through this shit because it's called life. But at the end of the day, you got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing through it. But with you getting that mentor and, you know, developing yourself, how would you say someone that has transitioned to you being a parent?
You know, it's funny. I don't think it translated at all.
Really?
Yeah. When it's yours, you treat yours a little different. And I think it's because when you're mentoring people, I go in there with the expectation that I may not be successful, right? Like it's one of those things you're like, okay, I may reach out, I may reach 100 people, only one or two may like really hear what I'm saying. But when it's your children, you don't go in there with that mentality. You go in there with that mentality like, nah, you don't got a choice. You're gonna be successful. So I'm really struggling. I'm being 100. Like I'm really struggling as a parent, to be honest with you, because I don't know everything, and I know I don't know everything, right? And sometimes, you know, when I'm talking to my older daughter, it's like, yo, was I too hard on her? Should I have used XYZ word? Because I think around the time she became 7 and she started getting in tune with her emotions, right? Is now one of those things where I needed to balance how I was conveying my message to her. Because I never want to make her feel small. Like I need her to know that she's a queen in every single room that she's in. And if I put her down in the room when she's in the room with me, then I'm showing her a room where she's not a queen. And I think a lot of times I fail as a father because I may talk to her in a way where she does not feel like a queen. So I'm working my best right now to refine my approach. I talk to a lot of my friends who are around the same age as me who got kids as well. One of my friends is a child psychologist. I speak to her like I'm like, yo, like how can I be a better dad? Because that's the only job that I need to perfect. Like where I don't know.
You
Listen,
coming
I
with
don't mean to
bars?
cut you off, but I got. He is, and I don't. But I had to interject because the reason why is this. You, I'm gonna tell you, you're older than me. I mean, we're all around the same age. I'm 29. But what I'll say is this: one thing you have to learn is to take the word fail out of it if you're trying. This is probably the only profession that you'll have, not a profession, but you know what I mean, thing you'll do in your life where you will never have all the answers to. And the simple fact that you're trying your best does just that takes away the factor of failure. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's gonna be moments and times where you're hard. I'm hard. Like Banyei, me and you were talking off camera when Shane was dealing with this whole computer debacle, and when it was talking about raising the son, right? And I was
Yeah,
like, sometimes I talk to him like I'm like he's a grown man. Yeah, it's sometimes I walk away and I'm like, damn, you really just like you put a little too much on him. But you know what though? All that feeling of like letting someone down turns into just loving them harder the next
mm,
time around. So like, though I had to talk with my mom because one day I lay my foot in Bo's ass, and you know when you hear, I did, bro, I did, and I feel so. I to this day I still hear the sad. I still hear the sadness in his voice, and that shit would never leave me. And I called my mom after I put her in the bed. It was one day Ashley. I don't know where Ashley wasn't here. I don't think. But I called mom. I was like, I feel so bad right now. Like I can't. Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like I failed him. You know what I mean? I kept saying, she's like, no, you didn't fail. She's like, listen. You're gonna make mistakes. You know what I mean? The fact that you're trying your best is like that's all the validation that you need. Just love them a little harder the next day. You
mm,
know. So if anything, like especially you, GQ, like you about to come through the ranks with having multiples, bro.
Yeah.
Failing, you don't. As long as you're trying your hardest, your damnedest, and like you can see it, you'll never fail because parenting, you don't have a book. There's no book on this shit. You write your own story. Fuck
yeah.
all that. I don't care what women love reading all these books and shit. No, that's just somebody's point of view and they're making a dime off of it. You write your own story. Your child is a blank canvas. You create. You're the artist. You know what I'm saying? So, but I'm sorry. You can go back on. I'll shut the fuck up now.
Nah, yo, that was. I appreciate that, bro. That was like that like yo, this is needed because like you said, like me telling myself I failed, I didn't fail. Like we need that support from others like y'all to uplift us when we put ourselves down. So I appreciate that, man. Like I won't even say it anymore. Like I didn't fail. I'm gonna keep on trying to perfect the craft of being a dad.
Think about it, bro. Your baby girl came downstairs to come say goodnight to you, bro. I love my kids to death, and they don't even want to come near me right now. For some reason, they just go through that phase. You know what I mean? So you're doing your thing. We wouldn't have you on here if you wasn't doing your job at home. You really, I can tell just by we've been on for almost an hour now. You really are that guy. Like you did. Like I feel the same refreshness I had when we had Shane on is what I got right now, bro. And it just feels like it's like, oh shit, maybe it gets a little easy. You know what I mean? We all can relate to each other.
That
Yeah.
for sure, man. And Banyei's, I don't live in Banyei's house. I'm not around his kids all the time, but just the joy I see when they come to see him at the gym is the same joy I want for my kids, even though they don't come to the gym. But they be like, Daddy. I'm like, yeah, that nigga's not winning today.
Yo, you have to throw that in there. You see, you could just let it slide, yo.
Nah, but I love that you said, man, we need that. We really do, man, because I had bumped into a situation. Was it a couple of days ago? This is my first time having two kids. You've had two kids for 3 years. You've had kids for 3 years. So y'all kind of even. Well, maybe 4 years, 3 years. But Nova was asking for something. I was like, yo, I can't do it right now, Nova. Like, I'm holding Journey. And Jasmine came over and she was like, yo, like, you need to stop saying that you can't do it. Right? She was like, yo, you need to stop saying that you can't do it. And I kid you not, bro. Like, I really gave her the best logical answer I could ever think about, man. And I was like, I think what I said was, I was like, nah, like, I understand, I hear you, but, you know, forgive me. You know, this is like, I'm only 6 days into having 2 girls. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally learning on the whim. Like, I'm literally holding a newborn and I'm trying to adjust to letting Nova do what she wants to do, but I can't do it. But I was like, yo, you know, forgive me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a man. I'm trying to learn how to talk to 2 girls. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to take some time. You know what I mean? And I kid you not, when I was done saying what I said, I swear she walked away like, damn, yo, this nigga really just got me with that shit, yo, because it was, it's like, yo, I really, like, I was so patient with that shit. I literally was like, yo, like, I just had a, like, yo, I'm learning to adjust.
Nah.
I'm trying.
You gotta be ready to go.
I'm trying.
But you gotta be ready to go. I'm sorry. Yeah, I get it. You trying. I was throwing. See, me, it was different. I was throwing the fire. Like, I was expected to know some shit, and I didn't have it. I would give that same exact answer. Like, yo, what do you want me to do? I've never done this before. I would give that same exact answer. Maybe probably in a little bit harsher tone,
Do
because
the
I was
tone.
stressing the fuck out.
Do the tone and
Yeah,
stand up.
the tone was a little different. Yeah. I've learned through the rankings in the years, but it was always like, there was never ever like, I could just feel like that. Just what, for some reason, I just feel like, yo, I just had to just do it. Like, I just was supposed to do it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, there was no time to adjust.
Nah, man. I think women, and not only women, but I think the other parent, they need to just understand. You know, like, we're all learning this. Oh, one of the things I had told Jasmine, I was like, yo, I'm literally the same. I've been a parent the same amount of time you've been a parent. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, you didn't drop that. You didn't say that.
That's checkmate.
Yeah.
Checkmate.
Yeah.
I mean, I would never say that to Ashley, but I said it here before.
Yeah. I was like, yo,
it's the truth, though.
we both had a kid the same amount. Like, I'm really learning, you know what I mean? And then we were having another talk about the whole Shane situation, when Shane was talking about, you know, him being patient, and me, I don't have that.
The delicacy.
Yeah. Like, even with coaching, you know, like, I was telling that to Jasmine, and that's something I'm really trying to work on with the girls. Because with me, I don't have that much patience. I'm learning. I'm getting better. Jasmine's telling me I'm getting better. But even when it comes to the kids, the high school kids, I'm not a guy that says, oh, okay, all right, let's go. It's either, oh my God, just cut this motherfucker right now. He doesn't have it.
But you got to look, though. You got to look at you're looking at 2 different environments. Yeah, we know how Shank is, but you got to look at 2 different environments, right? Like, like, even as, like, I think it would be different if you were in a kind of like in a Banyei situation where it's just mentoring. Like there's a certain environment when it comes to basketball, right? Like, there's just the coaches is either they just really for the people, they really for the players, or you're the worst fucking player in the world. Like, we've all played for coaches like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the environment's a little different. So if it was more of a buy-in, like if you were just a peer mentor, like the school, like, hey, what's going on in your life? Like almost like kind of like a life coach type situation, it'd be different. But you're kind of not expected, but you're going to have that natural aggression. Because 1, it's a sport you love. 2, it's a sport you became very successful in, whether you know it or not. And 3, you know what I mean? You know a lot about it. So when it comes to those kids, when you tell them to do something, they don't do it. It's a different reaction than if it was to Nova and you're in the crib. You know what I mean? So, it's expected.
Yeah, we're learning. Before we wrap up, man, Banyei, one thing I want to start us doing is just like, what advice, if you had to just pick one advice to, you know, people that are fathers or are going to be fathers, what is one thing you would just say to to end the fathers out there, just to encourage them or something that you learn throughout the way.
We need that uplifting Banyei right now. We need that. I want to hear that mentor Banyei.
So,
Nah, but for real though, people need to hear that shit. Believe it or not.
I'll say this. Don't let how you were raised dictate how you raise yours. And I'll just go a little deeper. Coming from an African household, Shane, you from a Jamaican household. Look, I'm not really sure what your background is, but like
I'm from a military household. My mother did 22 years in the military, so
we all like our parents weren't the most emotional. They weren't the most emotionally available people, I would say, right?
Yeah.
So make sure that you are providing whatever your child needs, whether that's tough love, whether that's emotional love, whether it's soft love, hard love, whatever it is. Make sure you are providing 360 degrees worth of love to your child, not 180, because your child will absolutely be impacted if you're only giving half of their side love. What I mean by 180, whatever. You kind of know what I'm going with this.
Nah, 360, you need 360 degrees of love, bro. I think that's a bar. That's definitely a bar.
I love
That's
it.
definitely a bar.
Take us away, bud.
I love it. Well, guys, we were blessed with Banyei's presence for another episode. We want to thank you once again for joining us. It's been a pleasure for having you on. Make sure you guys follow us. IG, Instagram, diaper.dads, YouTube, Diaper Dads Podcast. You catch us there every week, of course. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor for those who are weird and like to go that route. We still got that too. We will catch you guys next week. We love y'all.